These rappers is shucking and jiving and stuff, getting self in the shit that they can't get out of. Fucking up, here go the flux. A display of lyrics and patterns and rhythms by side and Young Buck.
For viewers' discretion is only factual, non-fiction, homie. The ruler, the thumb sticking out cause you know me. Federal, pimp lock the block, you can't hold me. Situation getting heavy, ammo get low, need my homie, what's up?
Well, your homie right on you know from the side. Go with that on these bitches is devious as we gon' get on this shit. Let's talk, let's not sit on this shit. We the shit on this shit, they just spit on this shit.
So much psychodramatic, havoc, get this bit crazy, the rage, you with it, this shit. Buck inside is the physicist. Belligerent, feel it, cause we ignorant. Nigga, y'all in it, the flux is the subject of weight and adrenaline, the feel of bitch. Side the medic, buck the relic, and drama that did it to him once again. Chance that you get, change to your face, and the blood to the covers, undisputed bitch.
And again, to the end of the pen, be worse than this sin against men. I'm feeling fenced in. From birth, saw the light of the earth, and I've been fucked up since then. This fusion, clenching, the might get that bitch contusions. It's two of Chicago's fucking gruesome. Introducing to you the flux. Big dreams are made of these. Who am I to decide?
What up? Taco Ruhu. It's your boy Fresh. Off of hanging with the wifey for her birthday. We got a lot to get into from last night's show. Can't wait. So let's go. Feels good to be back, man. I missed you guys last night. What is going on? My name is Jesse, a.k.a. your very own one and only Chitown Smark, man. And we are going to talk about Dynamite by ourselves because I was not able to be on the review last night with JD because my wife was celebrating her birthday. And it takes a lot to review these shows for you guys. So for those who don't know, I mean, we have to prep, we have to pay complete attention to the show. So starting around 7 p.m., you know, my entire evening is consumed because by the time I get done watching the show, then I'm going to spend a couple of hours reviewing it. It'll be pretty much midnight before I get done. There's no time to hang out with the wife. So we decided to let that be her day, all right? And that's what we did. And we had fun, man. We hung out with our friends, our neighbors, when we had some drinks and then had more drinks. Probably too many drinks, but what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? It's the wife's birthday, man. Thank you guys for all being here. I know this is a little impromptu, but for those of you who saw that alert and saw the tweet and said, hey, let me go join, it's you who I appreciate. Thank you so much. Ricky, Ryan, the Canadian Chipmunk with the $5 in Canadian super sticker, man. That's what's up. Thank you so much. Hollywood Eric with the 4-month membership, bruh. He says, hey, Taco King, 4-month anniversary as a member of the Taco crew. Glad the fam is okay from the tornado. Happy birthday to your wife. AEW was lit last night. I agree on all fronts, my man. Much, much appreciated. Let me fix you guys because I don't like where you are. I don't like looking up to the sky like Mark Briscoe or something. Put you guys a little bit more visible. There we go. Mike Rouse, what up? Sinister, what's going on? Hey, Sinister chiming in and not lurking for the whole stream, man. That's what I'm talking about. You think I don't see you lurking, Sinister? I see you, bruh. Pop up at the end of the stream. I see you. PD Shaw, what up? Frag Dude, what is going on? JB Rage. If you're still here, that's what's up, man. What's up, Rage? Big Wheezy. And then this guy, get out the bowl. What's wrong with this guy, man? I'm going to start in early on him, man. What's going on, Quaz? What's going on, Sherrod Jones? Unpopping opinions. I'm glad everybody is here, man. MD. 316, man. What's going on? I see you. I see y'all, man. So, I went out of my way to avoid spoilers because I didn't get a chance to watch the show, all right? So I kind of stayed off Twitter all night. Got up this morning, had some work to do, had some yard work, some things to take care of around the house. Then I sat down and then I watched Dynamite, all right? And I started texting JD about halfway into it, right? And he started telling me that that the reactions about the show were mixed. And I got a little confused. I'm like, the fuck you mean they were mixed? He said, there were people who didn't like MJF and Osprey. They said it was too long. They said the show fell off in the second half. They said it was too many kickouts. They said it was too many this. They said it was too many that. I didn't read the comments. I didn't see the chat last night. I hadn't even watched JD's review. I did none of that. But I'm just wondering, as a fellow wrestling fan, I think it's safe to assume that all you guys here are all wrestling fans. And look, if you disagree with my opinion, please feel free to speak up and say something, you know? I mean, and that's the same on Twitter. Side note, I might say a lot of things on Twitter. All right? Sometimes I'm sober, sometimes I'm not. Who knows? But anyway, what I say on Twitter is never mean-spirited, and more than likely, it was probably a joke. So, if you disagree with it, that's cool. You know, give me your rebuttal. But again, my only thing is you don't have to be disrespectful. And that goes with any of my tweets, whether it be wrestling, whether it be music, movies, political, anything. I'm not afraid to tweet about anything. It's my Twitter. I do what the hell I want with it, all right? I don't think my opinions are always right. I don't think anyone's opinions are always right. So if you disagree, I'll be happy to have that discussion. Or I might not. I might just say, look, bro, I was just kidding. You know, or I'll have that discussion. But when you start name calling and being disrespectful and you get all triggered and angry just because my opinion differs from yours, then you will end up getting blocked. Yeah. And it's the same thing here. If you disagree and say this show was dumb, it was stupid, it was this, it was that, you're just an idiot and a fucking, you know, mark, and you're dumb, and why does all of that extra shit have to come into play? Hey, bro, I disagree. I think it was this because of that. Right on. Conversate like adults, man. That's what I like to do. All right. So if you disagree, please let me know. Just be respectful, and that goes for all of my platforms. But as wrestling fans, I don't understand what you guys want. For those of you who think that the match sucked or the show sucked last night, I think last night's show, I think it epitomized what AEW stands for. All right, their literal motto is we're the best wrestle, right? Last night's show was bookended by great wrestling. Was everything in between perfect? Tell you what, I'll answer that when you find me a show that was perfect. All right? You find me your favorite wrestling show that was absolutely perfect. All right, then I'll answer that. But in the meantime, the opening match was great. We got an impromptu Iron Man match. If you really think about it. Two of the best wrestlers on the planet today, currently. And that's not debatable. That's not debatable. If you think that your favorite wrestler is up there, then that's very possible. But you can't tell me that these two men are not up there with the best that are alive today. All right. So what do we get? We get these two going one-on-one for an hour. An hour. Fantastic spots. New moves we've never seen by these two. The only thing that I think would have made this match a lot better was the crowd. I think the crowd was shit. I think it was bad. From the moment go, the crowd was just not there. When the match started, these two kind of just stood there and gave the crowd time to mark out. And they didn't. They just kind of sat there and waited, you know. Okay, start wrestling, please. Guys, we're getting MJF versus Will Ospreay for free. Prime time. You grab your dinner, you go sit at home in front of your TV, and you're not getting a jobber match. You're getting two of the best in the industry today. And they gave you everything that they had. That's something else that I think people need to look at when they want to complain about the match. These two guys busted their ass. And they told a phenomenal story. The match could have been shorter. The match was as long as it was because they had a story to tell. Okay? They had a story to tell. And with the main event scene as chaotic as it is, going into All In, it helps shed some kind of clarity on what's going on. It kind of helps separate the cream of the crop in that main event picture. Guys, there was a lot going on in this show. So to look at it and say it was boring, the show wasn't good, or the match wasn't good, I'm not sure what you people want. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong because your opinion is your opinion and you're entitled to it. But my question to you is, what do you want? This is a wrestling heavy promotion. If you want more story and less wrestling, this is not the brand for you. This particular show focused on in-ring action. They gave us some story in the middle. Some of it wasn't as exciting as other stories of theirs have been. I'll give you that much. But my God, they just gave you 1 hour straight of wrestling. They took some time in between to tell some other stories. Then they ended the show with Swerve Strickland versus Kazuchika Okada. In a 2 hour show, you got Swerve Strickland versus Kazuchika Okada, Will Ospreay versus MJF. And the show wasn't good enough for you. That tells me you don't like straight up wrestling, okay? Because that is two of the best matches this company has to offer. That is two of the best matchups that these people could give you at its current time. And they gave it to you for free. And a lot of people complained about it. My God, man. That is like the definition of fickle. Unless these were just a bunch of WWE pedophiles, I'm not too sure what they wanted. Because by those standards alone, this show was fantastic. It was more than fantastic. They've been known to put on some shitty shows. And when they do, we call them out. But this time, the show was great. And people still found something to complain about. You know what you guys did in that scenario? You guys were given a new Ferrari. You guys were given a brand new Ferrari, fully loaded. All of the options, everything. You took that Ferrari, you looked at it, and then you turned to the person that gave it to you for free, and you told them that this sucks on gas mileage. It's a Ferrari. It's a Ferrari. And you are complaining about the gas mileage. That's what you guys did here. You complained about this match for any and all of its imperfections. It had imperfections. It wasn't a perfect match. I'm not too convinced there is anything such as a perfect match. You give me any wrestling match and I can dissect. I'll find something that wasn't perfect about it. But you just completely ignored everything that was done brilliantly. Not just done right, done brilliantly. I'm not quite sure what exactly these people want. Now, if these were pedophiles, then it makes sense. They're going to hate watch everything because that's just what they do. And if you're a WWE fan, I'm not referring to you. I'm referring to people who are legit, only watch WWE, and then they watch AEW just to bash it. Those are the people I'm talking about. You can't find the great. If you can't find the greatness in what that match brought to us, you're not a wrestling fan. I'm sorry. You are a WWE fan, which is fine. But don't label yourself as a wrestling fan if you watched that match and all you did was sit there and pick out the imperfections and complain about what should have been done. How about you acknowledge what was done right? How about you give these guys their flowers because they earned it? They earned it. The rest of the show, I mean, it was probably par for the course. You know, Mercedes Moné and Nyla Rose. What are you gonna do? That match wasn't put there to wow anyone. It was just there to give Mercedes some reps with someone other than a local enhancement talent, and then to further her feud with Britt Baker a little bit. It looked like to me that they accomplished that, right? What else did we get? We got a Jericho segment. No one's feeling Jericho these days. Not even me. All right? So if you didn't enjoy that, I don't blame you and I understand. All right? What else did we get? We got Swerve and Kazuchika Okada. Guys, we got Swerve Strickland versus Kazuchika Okada in the main event. And then we got a bunch of after the match chaos. We got a big Darby drop, literally. We had a lot of stuff going down. So omit the Chris Jericho segment and tell me exactly what sucked about this show. And I don't think anyone can tell me enough to make me say that yeah, the show sucked. All right, so you guys need to calm down, man. Timeless Mariah May. So yeah, so the Mariah Storm segment. Okay, so I do feel like it fell a little flat, but I also feel like the crowd didn't give Mariah any goddamn play. I feel like the crowd just left Mariah up there. I feel like they didn't give her any heat. I think everything that Mariah May did to Toni Storm last week, I think she deserved a little bit more goddamn heat than what she got last night from that crowd. I think the crowd completely killed the vibe for this show, and maybe for the people that think that it sucked. Picture me this. Take pretty much everything we got last night and lift it out of that god-awful crowd. What were they, Greensboro? Lift it out of that god-awful crowd and drop it in Chicago. Drop it in Madison Square Garden. You know what I'm saying? Drop it overseas in the UK somewhere. My God, man. Imagine it. Imagine when that match started with Osprey and MJF. Imagine how lit the crowd would have been before they even locked up for all of the big spots. Imagine the heat that Mariah May would have gotten as she came out. The crowd gave them nothing. Little Rock, my bad. Little Rock. The crowd gave them nothing. I think Mariah deserved a lot more than what she got for her promo. So don't be knocking Greensboro. I'm sorry. Y'all do. My bad. Sorry about that. But I think the crowd did kind of do this show a little wrong. I mean, they should have had a lot more. I mean, I don't know. How do you make a hot town? You know what I'm saying? You can't just save the crappy shows for the hot towns and then, save the crappy shows for the lame towns and then wonder why they never get hot because you never bring them a hot show. So they brought them a hot show last night and they just kind of laid there and did nothing with it. So it sucks. But I think the crowd brought a lot of the hype down for this show. But I look at it in a vacuum. I look at this show for what it is, not what the crowd gives me. And what I saw was a fantastic wrestling show. Let's get into it. But first, let's get into the love that is being sent around right about now. Guardian of Chaos with the $9.99 super chat, bruh, says, happy birthday, Cat Eyes. Jesse, missed you last night, but glad you celebrated. Thank you so much, Guardian, man. A very tried and true buddy of mine. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Greg Goldman with the $10 super chat says, hey, Jesse, hope all is well. Did you start Cobra Kai yet? I did not. It's out? It's out? I didn't even know it was out. I knew it was close. I knew it was close. Is it out? It is out. Sweet. Nope, haven't started it yet. My kids don't know it's out. Maybe we'll do it tonight. We'll see. But thanks, Greg. I appreciate it, bro. Maybe we'll do it tonight. MD with the $20 super chat says, Jesse, what's up? The opening match was a banger on Dynamite. Damn right, man. I agree. I honestly, to me, that was a 5-star match. That was a 5-star match. Television match. We didn't even get a lot of commercials. Hell, the first commercial didn't come to like damn near a half hour in. We didn't even get a whole lot of commercials, man. I think people are completely giving that match a bad rap for absolutely no reason. I think it was a banger. 5 tacos for me, but that's just me, bro. What you can do? I'm not Meltzer. Scripts Wrestling Federation says, now, tell me AEW doesn't tell stories and Chitown Smark isn't one of the best podcasts in the IWC, and it will be proven that you are a liar. Taco Crew for life with the 6-month membership. I couldn't have said it better myself, brother. I could not have said it better myself. Thank you so much. Let's get into the show. The show starts off, as we all know, Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus Big Willie Style, Will Ospreay, for the AEW International Championship. There was a lot going on here, man. There was a lot going on in this match. To me, it felt like, and this is what it feels like every time I see MJF in a match these days. I feel like whenever MJF gets in that ring to have a match, it feels like to me that he is on a mission to absolutely prove that he is one of the, if not the best wrestler in the world today. I feel like he puts that much effort into it. If you look at the promo that he cut on Twitter, and the promo he cut on Will Ospreay, he's on a treadmill, he's on a Stairmaster. He's on a Stairmaster. That should have been our signal right there that he wasn't lifting and training for strength for this match. He was training for cardio the whole time. It feels like he's on a mission to prove that he is the best. It doesn't matter who he's in the ring with. He wants to be in the ring with the best because he wants to prove that he can go. Hey, I'm going to prove I can go with Bryan Danielson. Hey, I'm going to prove I can go with Will Ospreay. And maybe that story can't be told in 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's why he wanted to do the hour. How many wrestlers can do that? Can your favorite wrestler get in that ring and put on a 1 hour match without looking like that you're about to pass out and die? For the most part, for like 75% of the match, these guys look like they could have gone another hour. They didn't start getting tired, at least not to me, till like the very end. They were still going strong. They had a whole story to tell, and they told it. And they got out of that ring thinking that they just wowed everyone. Turns out 50% of the people who watched it sat there and complained. I'm embarrassed as a wrestling fan. It makes no damn sense, man. You guys keep doing shit like that, people will start thinking, well, I'm not going to go out there and give them all of that shit. They're just going to complain about it at the end anyway. Could you blame them? Could you blame them? Match starts off. The bell rings. They give the crowd a few seconds to show some love, some anticipation. They all just sat there, did nothing. It even got to the point where Osprey was trying to hype the crowd up. He's like, come on, would you guys fucking act like y'all give a shit? They looked like they didn't give a shit. So they went on and started working, all right? Max bails out of the ring immediately. Take a breather. You know, he's tired. He's been in that match for about 45 seconds at that point. So he goes out, joins the fans, trolls a couple of fans, tries to give a fan a fist bump. The dude said, nope, gave him the finger instead. I bet Max got pissed. Like, fuck you just ruined my fucking stick. He was probably going to flip him off. Tore up a fan sign. You're just being a dick, man. So they get back in and they start a sequence of you do that and I can do that better. You know that thing where they just chain wrestle spot, freeze. I kind of like that. It tells you right away that, hey, you're in for a banger. Hey, I can do what you can do, but can you do this? Yes, I can. Can you do this? Then you go to the freeze. I dig it. Collar and elbow tie up. Max with a side headlock. Shot off the ropes. Drop down. Drop toe hold. Duck. Hidden blade attempt. Trading head scissors. Headlock. Swatting each other off the ropes. Handspring. Stalemate. Freeze. Everybody does that. Not everybody, but all the great matches, they always have that freeze moment. Ricochet is known for that too. After he does something and comes down, lands in this Iron Man pose. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They go back at it. They lock up in the ropes. Clean break. Will sends him to the floor right after that with a lariat. Sidestep, dive. Osprey rolls it with he rolls with it and hits a top rope Kong Hero onto the other side. They get back inside of the ring. Tripping Will up in the corner. MJF puts boots to him. Let's see. We got a short iconoclasm into the turnbuckles, and he poses to the crowd and blows a snot. He blows a right into the crowd. No, man, your video's not lagging. It's just me doing, because you got to get into the match. You just got to freeze. Never gets old. They go back at it. Max is in control. Reverse chinlock applied. They trade back suplexes and they land on their feet until MJF counters with a jawbreaker. Heat Seeker was blocked. Slingshot Ace Crusher connects though. Osprey on the comeback. Elbow sends MJF to the floor. And Space Flying Tiger Drop takes him out. They get back on the inside. Off the top, moonsault, lands on his feet, though. Standing moonsault, lands on his feet. Shooting star press for 2. Love it, man. These sequences, I love it. Like, I always wonder how they plan out all of these spots. Like, it sounds easy to do if it's like a 10, 15-minute match. This goddamn match was an hour long. You can't remember all of these spots. Are they called it all 100%? I don't know. It's just intriguing to me as people say this match sucked. I don't get it. Let's see. Spiral tap. Still no. Waiting for MJF to rise, but the challenger rolls to the floor instead. Plancha lands onto MJF. Will takes a moment to slap hands with the fans. Grabs the time. He grabbed the timekeeper's table and set it up. And so you knew we were getting some kind of spot with that table. You know, but it stays there for a while. They let it marinate. You know, I think that's an underrated move. When you get the table and you set it up and then you don't use it, I don't think they use that table for another 45 minutes after they set it up, man. They let that shit marinate longer than some fucking carne asada fucking steak, man. They let that shit marinate. Sat right there. Crowd was like, we want a table. Like, it's right there. We'll come back to that. Imagine this match as a story being narrated by Morgan Freeman, the all-time hands-down best narrator in the history of life. Who doesn't want their life story told by Morgan fucking Freeman? Will Ospreay gets the table. He sets it up, but they don't use it right away. They come back to that table a little bit later. Oh, it's great. Fucking great, man. MJF crawls back into the ring. Osprey after him, chops him in the corner. Back and forth. Max snaps a pile driver. So close. Figure 4 leg lock applied. This is where the storytelling begins. All right? Because now we're going to work on the body part. Will's struggling, fighting. He turns the hold around and reverses it on MJF, but MJF rolled right back. And MJF did a lot more damage on Will Ospreay's knee. So there's a whip into the corner. Will is down and out, and referee Bryce Rensburg is checking on him while Max gloats. Goes back to antagonizing the crowd, you know, just like Max. Back into the fight, Osprey crawls to the ropes, and Max claws at his eyes. Desperate punches while kneeling chops. Max chop blocks for 2. Brainbuster countered into a stun dog millionaire. Oz Cutter connects, but Will is slow to his feet, and MJF rolls out of the ring. Got himself out of harm's way, did Max. Looking for a second Oz Cutter, but MJF rolls out of the way, and Osprey lands bad on his shoulder. Trembling and rolling outside as we go into the break. This is about 20-something minutes, about 20, 25 minutes in, something like that. First commercial break. I thought they were going to go the whole match. No commercials at this point. We got a commercial break. At this point, I was so interested in the match. For the first time, I sat and watched the picture-in-picture. I just muted so I didn't have to hear the ad, and I just watched the picture-in-picture. I didn't want to miss what else was happening because I already felt like at this point we were going to get some kind of classic because they were going this long and no commercial breaks. They come back from commercial. Max is in control. Shoulder breaker into a Here It Is driver. Will kicks out. Back and forth. Fight forever chants come out. Max to the floor. Osprey looking to put him on the table. The one that was set up earlier. Remember? Because Morgan told you that table was set up for later on. Don't forget, Morgan told you. You put him on the table. Max decides to just walk out of it, though. This is just to walk away from it. Like, forget that. I'm not trying to go through that fucking table. Brawling into the crowd. Max hits him with the fan's beer. I think that should have been illegal. How much beers cost at these damn arenas, man? Osprey inverts him into the trash can. Kicks the steel can. I mean, it was just nuts. They go up the aisle. Max is getting his ass kicked by Osprey, going up the aisle into the crowd. Will Ospreay then holds MJF open for this little girl in the crowd. Will goes to the little girl, tells her to come on over, holds Max back. This girl starts beating the shit out of MJF. She's just like, wham, wham, wham. Max is selling. Max like, ah. Then he flips her off. Like, you little. He flipped off this little kid. Now, first and foremost, I hope this little girl was prosecuted for her actions last night. Because she should have been. And the parent that allowed her to do it should be held just as accountable. But no, she was praised. Fans were all cheering her. It wasn't right. Max got mad as hell. I don't blame him, man. I don't blame him. Yeah, I'm sure Triple H was watching that too. I'm pretty sure Triple H already signed that girl to a goddamn NXT contract, though. That's all I'm saying. I bet he was watching. I'm going to tell you something right now. If that little girl does wind up being signed to NXT one day down the road, I will fucking laugh my ass off, man. Where did they go from there? Yeah, he dumped him in the trash can. He literally dumped Max's head in the trash can. Max was head up, upside down, in the trash can. Let's see. What else happened? Put Max on the table. Will goes up top, but Max goes back into the ring. Looking for a pile driver. It gets reversed. Trading near falls. Go behind. Poison Rana from the champion. Back body drop into the corner. Into a kind of a cheeky Nando's. Max can't put him away, though. Man, this was a lot of back and forth, man. Setting Will up on a table. Max goes to the top, but he took too long to get there, and the champion rolls off the table. Again, that table is still sitting there, trying to get used. They go to the floor to fight him a little bit more head on, wrenching the arm, putting Osprey into the barricade, setting the champion in a chair, raking his eyes. Big wind up for a kick. Posing in the crowd. Will gets him with the Oz cutter in the crowd, though. Back inside. Inverted face lock. Crossroads from Will Ospreay. This was another point of contention for the people who didn't like this match. They didn't like the crossroads being used. They didn't like the Styles Clash being used. Will Ospreay literally stopped to turn to hard cam, give a little wink, and did a little crossroad for his buddy. Both of these guys in this match love Cody Rhodes to death. Both of them. They pay a little homage to their boy. Did a little crossroad. People get all bent out of shape. I thought that was cool. I thought it was cool to be like, hey, we know that you over there. Here you go right here. Boom, crossroads. What's wrong with that? I don't get people. I don't get people. I don't get people. A smile on his face through the pain. Max pulls Bryce into the corner, rakes the eyes, stumps the arm, hammerlock DDT. Still not enough. Jockeying for position on the ring apron. Ospreay floats over, super kick, Styles Clash on the apron. Man, that was sick, man. That was a crazy spot. Styles Clash on the apron. People complained. Ospreay has been doing the Styles Clash for I don't know how long, man. I know that's AJ's move. I don't even think AJ created that move, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that someone else actually did that move before AJ. But that's AJ's move. AJ made that famous, though. We all know that. That's literally why it's called the Styles Clash. You know? He just paying homage to his butt. I don't get people. I don't know. Anyway. Back inside to the cover. MJF barely manages to kick out. But kick out he does. One arm kneeling power bomb. But still wasn't enough. So they go to their second break. This is only their second break at this point, man. And they have been going strong for a long time. They get back from the commercial. They get footage of Will getting his shoulder reset by Doc Samson. Apparently, Will Ospreay dislocated his shoulder, and they had the doctor come over to the ring and yank it and pop it back in place. I thought that was pretty awesome too. Nice visual. You incorporate the ring doctor in there to show how much resilience that Will Ospreay is showing in this match. He's fighting through all of this pain. Good stuff. Good stuff. MJF is choking him with the wrist tape. I don't know why that wasn't a DQ. Because the ref literally saw it. It wasn't like, oh, the ref saw that and act like he didn't. No, he saw it. He saw it and acknowledged it and still did nothing. That I didn't understand. Freeman takes him out, but while he's gloating, Ospreay hits the hidden blade. Mid-tope. Max is on the outside. And he was sitting there like, yep, I got this locked up. From in the ring to the outside, hidden blade. Murdered MJF, man. Didn't even see that one coming. Diving forearm to the back of the neck. Back into the ring. Cover for 2. Diving forearm, a.k.a. the phenomenal forearm. People complain about that. It's an hour-long match, man. Guys, do you know there's a finite amount of moves that you can do in a match? You have an hour to kill. You got to come up with something unless you want the same headlocks for the whole match. They're doing different things and giving a special little shout out to their boys and letting the crowd know, hey, you know this guy? Boom, Styles Clash. Oh, yeah, that was awesome. People sitting at home, I don't like that. I disagree. I'm going to tweet my disagreements. Send. dick holes, man. Back from commercial, MJF has a Cobra twist applied, wrenching it in and grinding his knuckles into Osprey's armpits. Headlock takeovers, trading near falls, whip across, power bomb. Osprey counters with a catapult, though. Cheeky Nando's in the corner. Avalanche, poison, Frankensteiner. But Max landed on his feet. Larry in the corner, back up top. Max just starts. So we got Osprey in the corner. Max is up on top in like a mounting position. He starts grinding his goddamn junk in Osprey's face. Like literally. Like, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Great heel shit, man. Avalanche Frankensteiner Will lands on his feet. Jockeying from position, trading near falls. Counter to the Oz Cutter with a kick. Counter the Brainbuster with a Stun Dog Millionaire again. Poison Frankensteiner. Max slips out of the Stormbreaker, Spanish Fly, and MJF still kicks out. Great shit. Great shit. Up top, jockeying for position again. Will slips out of the Avalanche Power Driver and hits an Oz Cutter, Hidden Blade. So you see, we're seeing the same moves that were done earlier. They're trying so many different moves that they're giving you other people's moves. You need a lot of moves to get through an hour match, bruh. Either that or a lot of sleeping on the outside. And they didn't do a lot of sleeping. They did a lot of wrestling. So this is where it starts to wind, and this is where we get the demise of Will Ospreay. All right. So Ospreay draws himself up, lining him up. Max ducks the Hidden Blade, headbutt, drawing Freeman up. He decides to hell with it. Does Will Ospreay. Underhooks. The 1 minute alarm goes off. So now we got 1 minute left. And Ospreay decides to go for the Tiger Driver 91. All right. As we know, Ospreay has vowed to never use that move again because he hurt Danielson with it. Max shoves him into the referee. Will draws him up. MJF clobbers him with a loaded punch. Bryce wakes up just in time. Ospreay had him set up for the Tiger Driver, picked him up, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. And it goes back to what MJF said before, that Will Ospreay just does not have the killer instinct. If Ospreay would have hit that Tiger Driver, he would have had him. He would have had him. But instead, Maxwell hit him with the Dynamite Diamond Ring. 1, 2, 3. MJF wins by pinfall 2 seconds before the timer runs out. And he is the new AEW International Champion. Brilliant. Brilliant. Great storytelling. Great in-match storytelling. Great match. Phenomenal stuff. As soon as the match was over, the camera settles in on the Dynamite Diamond Ring sitting on the outside, confirming that that's how he knocked him out. MJF is given oxygen. Will Ospreay is given ice. These guys are immediately treated because they just gave you every damn thing, man. They gave you it all. So, for their sake, they hope you enjoyed it. Apparently, half of you did not. Apparently, half the community did not. Don't quite understand it, man. That was great stuff. That was a fantastic match. I think that was worthy of 5 stars. It was a television match. There are pay-per-view matches that didn't get this much attention. This was great. They will be dancing again one day soon. But for right now, for this part, MJF is the international champion. Now, I wonder what they do with this now. Does this take some heat off of Swerve? Now that Max has a title, does this keep Max off of Swerve's tail for a little bit because he has a title on him at least? I don't know, man. Honestly, I didn't expect to see MJF win the title. We shall see. We get the Acclaim. The Acclaim speak to Mark Briscoe backstage, looking to join him on Team AEW for Blood and Guts. Briscoe is hyped up. All about it, man. He's all about this blood and guts. That's kind of what they do. Boys, man. That's how they roll. He's hyped up about it, and as far as he's concerned, they're in. But he's got Shane Strickland to answer to. So, Swerve says they've had their problems over the years, but he knows what they're all about. He said he's had them run-ins with them boys. He knows what's up with Mark, man. And he said there's nobody better to go to war with than the ones that you've gone to battle with. Very true. And now it's time for TV time with the Learning Tree. Chris Jericho. You know what? We're going to skip the Learning Tree. Don't say I never did anything for you guys. The Young Bucks and Kazuchika Okada cut a promo about how they're going to have all the gold and all the power next week. And Swerve is going to get bled so bad he'll have to vacate the title. Hi, guys. Bye, guys. It didn't. Dude, I'm not going over that shit, dude. It just got worse. First, we got Jericho out there with his hi, guys. And then, to make it even sweeter, they bring out Minoru Suzuki. I'm good, man. Forget that. I'm good on that one, man. They can miss me with that bullshit. Mercedes rose up to thank the Elite for banning Britt Baker from ringside, and Kazuchika Okada asked her to do her CEO dance. He said, hey, can you do that CEO dance for me? And unfortunately, she was all about it. And then she leaves doing it. I hate that shit so much, man. Okada looked like he was a little smitten with Mercedes. She was doing that dance. Okada was looking at her like he wanted to. I mean, he was basically like, ooh, okay, all right, let me stop. I start to feel funny. Ugh. Mercedes Moné versus Nyla Rose for the TBS Championship. Yes, Quaz, Nyla Rose. I see why you got your emotes out there, bruh. Quaz is all about that Nyla Rose booty meat. We get Nyla Rose versus Mercedes Moné. For all intents and purposes, this was an enhancement match without an enhancement talent, okay? I'll be real with you. I don't mind seeing Nyla Rose on my TV, all right? I know she's not everybody's cup of tea, but I follow her on Twitter, man, and Nyla Rose is fucking hilarious, all right? She is. And she's good at what she does. She's good at playing the beast role. So, I mean, I'm all about it. But let's see. Circling into the corner, Moné with her special little CEO dance. Diving over to a wrist to a waist lock, but Rose just kind of shrugged her off like, bitch, please. Oh, did y'all hear? We'll come back. We'll get to it when we get there. Rose shrugs her off, and Mercedes puts boots to her in the ropes, choking Nyla in the corner, drawing her up. Rose with the delayed vertical, a little shimmy. Nyla Rose picked up for a vertical suplex, and I think she tried twerking while she had her up there. You can't make this shit up. Nyla is hilarious, man. Moné slips out of the vertical. Tilt the world blocked. Nyla Rose hoists her up, back up, and then hangs her over the ropes. Kind of left her prone over the top ropes. Headed up top for a knee drop on the back of the neck. Cover, near fall. They go to commercial break. Back from commercial, the champion with a sleeper hold, locked in, reversed into a cradle snap suplex, and the native beast gets herself some breathing room. Black splash, big lariat, stinger splash, fired up, and she hits the cannonball. Moné cuts her off, Meteora for 2. Up top, jockeying for position, Avalanche, Bulldog, and Mercedes pulls a glove out of her tights. Glove that says CEO on them. She puts the glove on, gives Nyla Rose the locked jaw because she wants to embarrass Britt Baker, who she banned from the building. But Nyla Rose just bites her damn fingers. I thought that was brilliant. I was like, why don't you just bite her fingers? Well, no one else is brilliant. The commentary team explaining this. Well, Britt Baker does this all the time. How come no one bites her fingers? Because she's a fucking dentist and she knows how to apply the proper pressure, so you can't bite. Brilliant. I like it. Nonetheless, Moné shifted into a bank statement for the win. Win by submission. Mercedes Moné. Simple. It wasn't meant to be a barn burner. We didn't need this match to go an hour. Don't worry. It was a nice little match. Everyone complained that she wasn't getting enough reps. Now she's getting her reps. There was a fan in a mask who shoves Mercedes and takes her mask off. It's Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Security swarms her to keep her away from the champion. And that was that. They just added a little bit of salt to that feud. You know, they'll get around to doing something bigger and better, I hope. They got plenty of time. I know, Ryan. Who knew? Who knew? Didn't see that one coming. They recapped the Mariah May turn. Great stuff. We get Jack Perry in the back. The scapegoat, my man. Cutting a promo on Darby Allin. You know, he's like, fuck Darby. He said he doesn't give a shit about Brandon Cutler either. Poor Brandon Cutler being this, man. Poor Cutler. He doesn't give a shit about Cutler and proves it by throwing him through the boiler room. Threw him through the boiling room door. Throwing him into one of the tanks. He tells Darby to find him tonight and he'll show him what a real sacrifice looks like. Ooh. Mariah Storm comes out. Mariah May comes out. Toni Storm's music plays. In the same way that Mariah dressed up as rocker Toni Storm, she's now dressed up as... You know what? No, I can't. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not going timeless. I'm not going timeless for Mariah May. That is not her thing. Not doing it. She has no right at all to be out there impersonating Toni Storm. Not going timeless. Nope, forget it. Mariah May comes out. She gets on the mic and says, Toni took her in, but didn't realize she was giving it all away. And the question shouldn't be why. It should be what took so long. She didn't think it'd last this long either, but it was so easy and she was having so much fun. Hey, don't boo me. Mariah is not timeless, dude. Mariah does not get to go timeless. No. No. Don't even want to hear it, man. Hell no. She's not Toni. Let's see. There we go. And then she had Wembley in her sights and thought, why take the old horse out back when she can kill it in front of as many people as possible? Smart. There you go. She's been Toni Storm, and now she can be so much more. But don't worry, she never loved Toni, and more than when she was on her knees bleeding and begging her great performance. Pause for a second. Toni on her knees. And May's great performance will be at All In, because now All Elite Wrestling is all about Mariah. Okay. I think the promo could have used a little bit more substance, to be honest. But nonetheless, the crowd was undeserving of this moment. They left poor Mariah out there to hang out and dry. Tony Schiavone flat out called Mariah May a bitch live on commentary. Just flat out. Just I didn't even see that coming. She's coming out, Tony Schiavone like that bitch. Fucking Taz like, whoa, what the? Jeez. Tony Schiavone just turned into Slim Shady over here for a minute, man. You can't say that, dude. Great shit. Great shit. Main event, we get Kazuchika Okada versus Swerve Strickland. Man. Fast pace out of the gates. Okada trips him up. Early Rainmaker attempt was blocked. Hip toss. Stalemate. Let's see. We get an uppercut in the corner. Passing Okada to the middle of the ring. Diving uppercut. And Swerve is feeling himself at this point. Okada cuts him off. Sends him to the floor. Front kick. DDT on the floor. Sends us to commercial break. Back from commercial break. Headbutt clobbers Kazuchika Okada. Right in the jaw. The whip was reversed. Get the boot up. Drop kick sends Swerve crashing to the apron. Back inside for the near fall. Off the vertical suplex. Swerve is prowling. Off the top, elbow, Rainmaker. They do the zoom in, for the Rainmaker zoom in, and Okada now, Okada's a GOAT, man. Okada is a GOAT. So let's see, we get back from commercial, headbutt, clobbers Okada right in the jaw, whip reverse. Did that part. Here we go. Big power slam up top. Swerve purchases body on nobody home on Swerve stomp, but Okada hits the tombstone pile driver. The Young Bucks hit the ring, puts the boots to Strickland. It's a smudge, DQ, not a real match. Swerve wins by DQ. Since the Bucks came in, the Acclaim came in, then Jack Perry showed up, and then Mark Briscoe showed up. We got blood and guts going on, but someone's missing. Then the music hits. Darby's music hits. Everybody's looking for Darby. They look up the ramp. They look behind. Motherfuckers are looking under the ring. Where the fuck is Darby? Darby came down from the rafters. Landed safely, thank God. They unhook Darby, and Darby goes ham. They all beat each other's asses. That's how the show goes off the air. Big schmaz, big fight. I like this show. It started off with some unbelievable pro wrestling. After that, it just sprinkled some salt on a couple of feuds. Sprinkle some salt on Moné and Britt. Sprinkle some salt over here on this. Sprinkle some garlic powder over here on the blood and guts match. Let it simmer for a little bit. End of the day, great show. Not even a mediocre show, not a mid show, not a show that'll do. This was a fantastic wrestling show. Beginning to end. I don't like all of my wrestling shows this wrestling heavy, but when you do it right. And this show was done right. This felt like a little mini pay-per-view, to be honest with you, man. If the main event had gotten a little bit more time and a little bit more seriousness, don't get me wrong, I'm glad it didn't, because you don't need a Swerve or Okada really taking an L. So in this instance, I'm okay with a DQ. This was a little mini pay-per-view type deal, man. Not gonna hate on this show at all. I don't think this show has gotten the respect that it deserves, man. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed on behalf of the wrestling community, bruh. But that being said, that is today's show. But let's get into a few super chats. If you have a super chat to get in, please do so before the end of the show so we can read what you have to say. Where did we leave off? Susan Grace with the $5 super chat says, glad you and the family are doing well and safe from the tornadoes that hit Chicago. We are, Susan. We are well, we are safe, and everything has gotten back to normal at this point. Much, much appreciated. Susan also with the 23-month membership, bruh. That's what's up. Glad you and the family are safe and sound from the tornadoes that hit Chicago. Hope you and the kids treated your wife well for her birthday. We did. We made every attempt to make sure we gave her everything that she wanted to do, and the day was all about her. And we actually enjoyed ourselves, man. A lot of fun. Ryan with the $5 Canadian says, hi, Jesse. Said you are not a part of one of the learning tree's cringy branches. I thought you were better than that. I am not better than that. I am not worthy of the learning tree, thank Christ. I'm sorry. That gimmick is... If it hasn't gotten over by now, bruh, it ain't getting over. It's just not happening. Not even from Chris goddamn Jericho. It's just not happening, man. Costa the Cray Greek with the $5 super chat, bruh, says, reason the match went so well is Max and Will were able to pace the match. That's why they could have gone another 30 minutes easily. I absolutely agree. From the jump, it was paced correctly. They kept everyone's interest. The match flowed. It made sense. It was a very well-told story. I seriously don't get what people were so salty about, man. It is just going to remain a mystery to me. Guys, that is it for today's show, man. Short, simple, sweet, just like Dynamite was last night. That's another thing, too. That Iron Man match made the show just fly by for me, man. It just felt like it was just flew right through. Nonetheless, I thank you guys all so much for being here. If you have not yet, please hit that like button. If you are watching this after the live, please do me a favor. Hit that like button for you as well. Also, leave a comment. What we need to do is we need to jolt the algorithm. The algorithm loves comments and thumbs up. Leave a comment. Leave anything. I really don't give two shits, to be honest with you. But if you watched it and if you enjoyed everything that we cover here today, do me a favor. Just leave a comment, guys. That is it. My name is Jesse, a.k.a. your very own one and only Chitown Smark, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.